Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah.
And they finished last season with a 36-27-6 record, good enough for fourth in the Pacific Division. Return to play, they beat out Minnesota, they beat out St. Louis, and then they lost to Vegas in the second round of the actual playoffs. So great season for the Vancouver Canucks, but they have lost some significant pieces. And they've brought in some significant pieces, but are they going to gel?
So this is my thing. This is when I get a kick out of when I see people when your team isn't good or not. It's like, oh, let's bring in some bad contracts, maybe for picks and all that, which is, we'll get maybe a prospect will take on a bad contract, or we can afford to just throw money around. They didn't trade for any bad contracts. They just signed. Well, Brandon Sutter, I don't know why they paid him that much money. That blows me away. Jay Beagle, why you gave him 3 years at like 3 point something, just blows my mind. Anton Roussel. So 2 years ago, you gave this money away, and it doesn't seem like much. Now, fast forward 2 years, 3 years now, when Quinn Hughes was good, all of a sudden, Pettersson stepped in the lineup, and this is a playoff team. You had Mark Shamwalk. Tyler Toffoli had something going there.
Yeah,
wanted to be
time.
there.
10 points in 10 games.
Yeah, he walks. You lose Chris Tanev. Yeah. And, I mean, they didn't bring back Troy Stretcher, so I'm assuming they just didn't want him back. I don't know, because, I mean, if Thatcher Demko isn't what...
I know, right? And they're banking on it. Thatcher Demko in the playoffs performed very strongly, like insane numbers.
Dude, you can't repeat that.
Yeah,
like, this kid can be the top proven. Of his. Yeah,
he's coming in fresh to the return to play. Is he going to do it over a full season or even half season if the condensed schedule?
Hope so.
Whatnot? That's a big question mark. And then they bring in Braden Holtby, who is coming off a season and a half from questionable goaltending. I'm sure he has it in him to rebound, but does he have the defense in front of him to back him up?
And that's the thing. I don't mind the top four.
Yeah, I don't mind the top four at all. I don't even mind the...
Oleg Ulevi, I don't know whatever happened to him.
Yeah.
I have no idea whatever happened to him. Like, I mean, that sucked because, I think it was 10th overall pick. So that was, 4 years ago now out of London? So that sucks that he... Yeah. I love the Nate Schmidt pickup. I mean, their top four, like you say, it's not horrible. I love their down the middle. I will say that.
Oh, yeah. Down the middle, they're set. Elias Pettersson.
I love Pettersson, love Horvat.
He's such a unique player, Elias Pettersson. What he does on the ice, very creative in the skill.
And he can really shoot the puck for a smaller fella.
God, can he ever? The puck. Just, the hands he's got, just the vision, it's just nasty. It's one of the funnest players to watch in the league right now.
When he first broke in his first year, I don't remember a first-year player doing what he did right away.
Yeah.
I know Matthews went crazy, McDavid, but they're on a different level. I don't remember a guy just coming in not as an 18-year-old and just
He might crack that upper echelon of center here in the next year.
He's almost like a Sebastian Aho. Not the way they play necessarily, but just the valuable, how good they really are, and they not that they came from nowhere, but I don't think people expected this so early in their careers.
Yeah, exactly. Did you see that play he made? I think it was in the return to play where he's coming around the net and he hooks his knee on the net on purpose so that he can spin around the net and slide the pass. Yeah. That was just, I've never seen anyone do that before. That's just very, very creative.
He has a one-timer for a thin, slender guy.
Yeah.
That is he's an elite hockey player.
Yeah.
I think, and I love the Miller pickup last year.
Oh my God, JT Miller. And he plays some center too, right?
Yes, he does.
He's... I was hoping the Habs would get him, and it didn't quite go that way. But yeah, fantastic
awesome
player.
Great fit.
Yeah,
they have 4 legit top 6 players.
72 points for Miller last year in 69
he was awesome, and
it's unbelievable.
When you find someone who's a free agent that can slot in so comfortably with your superstar player.
Yeah,
and because we see teams try to go out to get someone to play with that superstar player, it just doesn't work out.
Yeah,
so that was huge for them.
The top 6 is actually quite nice generally for the Vancouver Canucks.
For Tannen, he's another guy that you just. World Junior guy, I just hate shit on the World Junior guys. But he, just hasn't lived up to expectations.
Yeah.
And he's almost turned to the play.
18 goals last year?
Yeah, but he came into the return the play out of shape.
Yeah.
It's to the point where it's he's almost had to change his game a little bit to continuously have a role with that club.
Yeah.
Travis Green and him seem to not be on the same page sometimes.
And then the bottom 6 is very questionable in the forward group for the Vancouver Canucks. Gaudette, third, maybe third line center, Jay Beagle, you got Tyler Mott, Anton Roussel. He's a big body, he can bang, but like he's
Too much money.
Yeah.
I'm not saying these guys aren't NHL
I like Brandon.
players.
No, and I like Brandon Sutter too.
But you're not worth what you're getting paid.
And then you got
just
Louis Eriksson, who's just a waste of space on your cap, and he's literally not giving you anything on the ice.
No, they're going to have so much cap space going forward because, Beagle comes off, Roussel comes off. I don't know when Sutter comes off. I think Louis Eriksson has 2 more years. It's Vancouver. I can't imagine having a hard time attracting free agents to that city. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like Horvat, Pettersson, and Besser is the only thing that's keeping that team.
And JT Miller.
But I don't mean necessarily good. I just mean keeping that GM his job.
Right.
Because this is for zero cap space. And
it's really unfortunate because if they were able to keep Markstrom, this is less of a conversation, right?
You lost Markstrom, you lost Toffoli, you lost Tanev, and you still have $0 million in cap space.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so we go down to the D. Quinn Hughes, absolute stud. Okay.
Yeah.
Offensively.
Yeah.
But Nate Schmidt, that's a great pickup.
I like Nate Schmidt a lot.
That's a really good right-handed defenseman pickup for them. Top pair D.
Yeah.
So you do replace Tanev in that sense instead of having one of your better defenders.
They brought back Elder.
You bring in a righty. Yeah, you bring in Alex Edler. He's getting up there, but definitely still capable.
He's capable of being an NHL defenseman.
33 points last year in 59 games. That's incredible, and he can defend too. He's a
he was.
He's a great defenseman.
He was good in the playoffs. He took some penalties, but he was good.
The Vancouver Canucks top 6 outside of maybe Virtanen is very, very strong.
The one thing I will say is Tyler Myers, when you watched that playoffs last year, he was in the box every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So Tyler Myers, I feel like because he was for a big guy, he was known for his skating. I don't know if his skating is decreasing or whatnot, but he's another guy that you could look at this in a couple of years and be like, God damn, we gave him way too much money.
I know, because $6 million for another 4 years, right?
So they're just throwing away money around.
Strong top 6. Questionable bottom 6. I like their top 4 as long as Myers can perform up to his ability defensively, especially.
No, in this division, your top 4 is fine, in my opinion.
And then even Jordy Ben on their third pair.
Yeah,
it's very he's slotted in perfectly. He can defend well, and he'll get anywhere between 5 and 8 goals or.
Well, it's a good presence for you, Levy, too.
Yeah, but then after that, the depth drops off, and then you're relying on goaltenders who. Holtby is proven, but he needs to rebound. And then you got Demko, who's not really proven at all, but
he has the pedigree from played World Juniors for the Americans. You thought he had the potential to be a starter, but I don't know if it's going to be. He's not going to be good enough to carry this team right now.
At elite numbers, 930. Yeah,
you know what I mean. You can't expect what he did in the playoffs. Nobody.
Maybe a 1A 1B situation works out for him,
and that's where Holtby comes in. He has to be.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm disappointed in what has happened to Vancouver, but I still see a lot of hope here too. I have them slotted at number 4 right after the Flames.
I have them 6.
Yeah,
I have them way down.
You have the Oilers up there in the top 4, and I have the Oilers in the bottom 4.
Yeah, a guy for Vancouver. If Michael Furlan could play a game for them, because he's another guy making over $3 million a year, big body. Bangs. Remember a couple years ago in Calgary, I forget who Calgary was playing. They brought him up to stir shit around. He did it. Then he went to Carolina. I just feel like Vancouver just has so much wasted money, and it's going to hurt them and hamper them so much until it leaves. Because, you just watched how many guys walk out the door. Pettersson's going to want a contract soon.
Yeah.
Brock Besser's name was in trade rumors all of last year because of their cap situation. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. So Hughes is going to get a contract. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not high on Vancouver at all this year.
I'm hopeful because I'm a Canucks fan as well. After the Habs,
I think we both like the Western Canadian teams.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah,
but for me, Canucks are my second favorite Canadian team. So I'm just hopeful that they can do it. And optimistic that Nate Schmidt will work out. Holtby will rebound. Demko can at least hover around average, maybe above average goaltending. It really sucks to lose Tanev, that leadership, and then they only had Toffoli from the trade deadline.
But he
fit in perfectly.
He slowed everybody down to where they're supposed to be. He was just a perfect fit for them. One thing too that you ain't getting those 3 California teams now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's another thing that's going to really hurt because that Pacific division was kind of
bad. Those were some easy points to gather up.
So that's going to be a loss right there.
Yeah, and to have to replace what Markstrom was doing for them is pretty rough, right? And he did it at a much longer sample size than just a few games in a return to play.
It's almost to an extent Winnipeg. You're literally replacing a starting goaltender, a top 6 forward, and a top 4 defenseman. Now, I guess you replaced off for defenseman Nate Schmidt, but I mean, my goodness.
Yeah.
It's a
There
lot.
might be some growing pains to start, and if it's a shortened season, that could hinder you. Boom, right off the